The numerous sexual assaults on women, which took place on New Year's Day in Cologne, Germany, by refugees coming from outside of Europe, angered many, especially the far-right anti-immigration groups who felt this is just another reason why their doors should not be open to those coming in from the Middle East and elsewhere, of course. Well, the Belgian government believe they have got a way to help asylum seekers assimilate a little better. Refugees, get this, are being given lessons on how to flirt and brochures explaining Western behaviors. Those are seriously being given to them, Mark, and it's just ridiculous. Some of these things, some of these tips, for example, that are on this brochure include how to start a conversation. You got to be funny, but don't touch. No touching. No touchy.
Oh, I see. So pickup lines. They're giving them pickup lines or what?
Well, not exactly. Not like full-on pickup lines like, hey, you know, like here's how you break the ice. But it's like what to do, what not to do. You know, they have to because they want to avoid, you know, something like what happened on New Year's in Cologne. And they have to because, you know, Belgium has taken in over 50,000 asylum seekers since the beginning of 2015. So they kind of gave them the breakdown, the Europe 101, for example. You know, men are allowed to kiss other men. If you see that in public, don't start any violence. That kind of thing. Prostitutes, yes, prostitution is illegal, but you know you have to respect them like they're everyone else. So you know we're going to get into maybe some of these other details here, but before we do, I mean, to me, I don't know how you feel about it, but like to me, it just seems a little bit sarcastic, a little over the top. Do you think this is necessary?
It appears that way, but I also see the point of it in
Yes.
being that there are cultural differences, and if they're coming into a new culture, yeah, you need to be told this is how to behave. This is how to. I guess I see the point of trying to educate people in the ways of assimilating into the
Yes.
culture.
Right. You know, we've heard like, you know, for example, there was just an article that came out yesterday that I read where this one town in the UK was giving all asylum seekers, all refugees who move into this town, a red door. They would literally paint their door red so everyone would know. This seems like a little nicer way of getting around that whole thing, right?
Well, yeah, it makes sense to me, though.
Yeah.
If people are there and they're going to be staying, they need to be kind of taught the ways. Maybe they have some outside idea, some Hollywood idea of like what women are like in Europe and that they want to be treated a certain way, but I think
Right, that you can just like whistle at any old
Yeah.
girl that you see. Well, this brochure clearly states whistling at women is a risky tactic. The brochure states that, yes, some women do find that a little funny, but if you do, you might get slapped, basically,
Okay,
is what they're saying. Don't do that.
Will they translate it to English so that they can send it to New York City so that the people...
You know, that's a good point. You know, they should think about maybe giving these to American tourists, too, that go to Belgium or even here in the States.
No, I'm talking about people who live in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, you saw the video of a woman walking around New York and the kind of sexual harassment she receives on a daily basis, just walking through the streets of New York, construction workers and anybody else, you know.
Well, which is giving credence to my point here, which is what I'm saying. It's like, it seems a little over the top. I mean, these are rules that should apply to everyone, and they're kind of stating such obvious things here to make it seem like these people who are coming over just have no clue, and they're just down for anything. Anything goes with these people, and that's kind of what I have against. For example, be funny, make eye contact, but don't stare. Does this make you uncomfortable? Am I making you uncomfortable when I'm staring at you?
Okay, don't stare. Just look at me, but,
But
don't look at me.
stare for like a long time is
Don't
what they're
stare.
saying.
Look,
Yeah.
just look, and now say something funny.
Exactly. In Belgium, here's another one. Anyone and everyone can choose his or her partner, whom he can meet through a friend. You can meet at a party, at work, at school, at university, at sports clubs, on the internet. So they're basically telling anyone who would need to know this stuff that you can meet people anywhere. It doesn't have to be an arranged marriage, for example. And it even tells you in the brochure that a forced marriage is punishable by law. You could go to jail for 2 years in Belgium for that. You get a fine for up to almost $3,000 for that.
You know, it's easy to kind of joke about it, make fun of it. I appreciate that they're trying to... These are very real problems, though.
Yes.
There's a huge cultural difference here in the way
Yes.
men treat women, and they're trying to show. Maybe they had some idea that, oh, women in Europe are all like running around naked and want to have sex with anybody they meet on the street. You know, so it makes sense that they want to try to educate the people coming in.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Very necessary. You really, you do have to do those kinds of things. But I just like, you know, I have a problem with, you know, what if this gets into the hands, which it will, of course, into like someone who is very anti-immigration? Because let's not forget, so many people just see refugees as like one person, one kind of person, right? They forget that they're all individual people coming from all different countries, and they're all painted with the same brush. You know, they have no idea about our culture. They're gonna, you know, try to assault all of our women because that's just who they are, and they don't know better. We have to close off the door. So I think in some ways this could get in the wrong hands, and people might see this and be like, "Oh, I told you, you know, this is all how they think. The government even knows it." So look, you're right. Good idea. They have to do this stuff. I'm just not sure if this is the right way of going about it.
Send it to New York City, though.
That I will not dispute. That is a very good point. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, that's for sure. But here's what's going on in Belgium. They got brochures for all asylum seekers telling them how to assimilate to their Western culture.